Hey, welcome. This is Angela Valenti-Romeo. This is Colliding Worlds Radio. We're here every Saturday from 11 to 12. We're here Sunday from 10 to 11. You can catch the podcast on iTunes. And like I said, we're back. It's October. There's so many things going on. And one of my favorite times of year is really, truly, and it's no lie, is the Highway 62 Open Studio Art Tours, which goes October 13th through 14th, October 20th and 21st. There are 96 different artists participating, and the depth of talent is indescribable, and the work that you'll see is all over the place. I mean, you've got everything from nail art to abstract to assemblage, a little bit of performance, depending on where you go. There's a lot, and it's an interesting kind of concept. And we have one of the artists who, she will be at stop 6. She's stop 6, and she's over there, and you can't miss her. She's got this beautiful red hair. She's got these glowing eyes, and if you know her mom, you're going to go, oh my God. Who are you? What do you do?
My name is Rebecca Rizzo, and I do so much. But one of my things that I do that I love, that's my therapy, is I create jewelry. And so all of my jewelry that I do is all color healing. So it's all focused on the wearer and the experience that they might need to rebalance and regain clarity in their lives.
Are you using crystal?
I use crystal, I use copper, I use all kinds, and it's all custom, all one-of-a-kind pieces, and it's all based off of what the wearer is trying to get.
So you're channeling chakras.
Yes, I'm channeling chakras, healing energy. So when I sit down, if there's a certain area of your body that you're having a challenge with, I can customize a piece. But I also create pieces like I'm wearing today that actually will help with complete body balance.
Explain to me the colors.
Okay, well, we have 7 main chakras, and the first we start is red, and red is your grounding color that helps with your love of self and where you came from. Then you have your chakral, which is the orange, which is really your love of self and your sexuality and passion and all of that good stuff, which moves up your body. The yellow is your solar plexus, and that is so that you kind of your gut feeling. It's, when you get those feelings when you're like, oh, I just feel like this is off. You need to really trust it. Next is your green, which is your heart chakra, and that's for love of all as well as love of self. A lot of people forget they give so much love to everybody else and they don't balance that with themselves. The next is a light blue, which is your communication, your throat chakra. That is, of course, at your throat, which helps you communicate and understand those that are trying to communicate with you. Then they have the third eye, which is the purple chakra. The indigo chakra, which is in the middle of your forehead. So anytime that you really want to kind of balance and get yourself into a more of an aware, what do I really want? That intuition is close your eyes and focus on that center of your forehead, and that's that indigo blue, which helps you with that. And the chakra on the very tip top of your head is the crown chakra, and that is purple, and that helps you understand your connection to all and knowing that everything's going to be okay.
Purple's my favorite color.
Yeah.
And you're in blue, and you're a great communicator.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about this now. So the jewelry, is it wire wrapped? Is it bezel set? What are we talking about when you create it?
When I created, it's mostly, to be honest, most of the stuff is pieces that people give me. So they might go through, it might be upcycled pieces, it might be based off of, and a lot of this happens, a lot of people don't know I do this, where they might have pieces that mean a lot sentimental, and it might not be something that they necessarily enjoy wearing anymore, but they can't part from keeping it in their jewelry box. They can bring that to me, and I can actually repurpose that and recreate that with a lot of positive influence and intention so that they can wear the piece and it's rebirthed into something new. I do that as well as wire wrapping. I have a lot of people who give me stones that they polish or find. I do stuff with bottle caps. It's just all very different. You know my mom is, you could give her a pile of something and she can turn it into a masterpiece.
That's what I love. I mean,
yes.
When I first went back into doing this, transitioning from one career to the next, a lot of what I did in my first line of jewelry was recycle every piece that I made had something that was something else before.
Yes.
And I love people like us because we look at that and we go, yeah, bottle cap. Oh my God, that could be earrings. It could be a ring. It could be this. It could be that.
Absolutely.
That's the coolest part about being a creative soul is that someone gives you a chicken bone. You're like, oh wow, I can do this.
Absolutely.
That's
like you could say that. I'm already thinking, oh, I could turn it into a wand, or I can turn it into a barrette. Like you see the potential in everything.
Oh, I did a whole thing with those plastic hammers, the Delvin that I used, and I sliced it and I bezel set diamonds in it. Why?
Why not?
Because I could.
Yeah.
And that is the coolest kind of part. And again, I want to let everybody know you're going to be at stop 6 in the catalog, people. You need the catalog to find them. You're going to be there both weekends. You'll be sharing that space with, 3 other people.
At my mom's house, actually. And you need to come see my mom's house just to understand. You'll understand me a little bit more once you see her house.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to be closing the show with this mother-daughter act. We're going to have Mom.
Yeah.
So Sharon will be here at the very end of the show. Let's go back and talk about the jewelry that you're doing. It has a meaning, it has a purpose. Sometimes people look at it and go, wow, it's just really pretty. And that's a legitimate
Well,
feeling too.
Well, a lot of it is people will feel an emotional connection right away. And that's what we want to go for. It doesn't matter if they're just looking at it going, wow, that's pretty, and don't understand what the meaning is behind it, because they're still going to get the benefits regardless. So it's one of those things where if it appeals to you in a certain way, if there's a certain color that you really like, there's a reason. There's a reason for everything that we're feeling. There's a reason for everything that we're seeing as far as absorbing into our own perspective and seeing things. So pay attention to all those things.
It's an important, and it goes back to something you said earlier. Sometimes we hold on to things, we have a piece of jewelry, we have a remnant of something, a stone, whatever it is, and it may not mean anything to anybody else, but the minute you hold it, you feel something. I have a friend who's an artist who does this project called The Common Denominator, it's done with rocks. And it's an interesting thing, and when I first met him, I was like, it can't be. Man, oh man, you put that rock in your hand, and you feel every other person who has that rock in their life.
Yes.
There's something about those things, and when you can wear them as a piece of jewelry, you can wear them close to your heart. There's something about that.
The energy transmits. I mean, everything that we're seeing, it's vibration. Vibration is energy, and the way that we perceive them is based on whatever level vibration they're vibrating at. And so when you are holding a stone or wearing a certain piece of jewelry, it's vibrating at a certain level, and that will seep into you. So it's a pretty amazing thing, because a lot of people don't realize we are only seeing only 10% of what's going on, because there's so many things that we're not seeing, vibrational and just different things going through the air as far as energy and stuff goes. And more people, I think, are getting turned into like wanting to learn more about it. They're getting pulled into knowing, well, why am I getting a little bit more interested in crystals or that color or that person? It's all energy based. I believe everything is energy based. It's all vibrational. I think that we're here forever, because we may not be in our bodies necessarily, but we kind of transfer into that next level of energy we're supposed to be. And wearing certain jewelry and pieces helps us remain balanced so that we can really allow this experience that we signed up for.
It's an interesting thing when you talk about that feeling, and there's a trigger mechanism. And again, it goes back when you're creating jewelry is very personal. I'm a big believer in one of a kind. I enjoy that. I love that. I don't care if you buy something from Target or wherever it is, but you can always turn it into something that's your
Absolutely.
own. And that's the thing that I think people forget, that everything can be made uniquely yours.
Absolutely.
And even though you're making a piece that's uniquely you, it's actually uniquely them.
And how they wear it, and what they wear it with, and everything. I agree with you 100%. And I'm always one of those. My mom taught me to go to Goodwill. That's where we went and got our clothes. And I would get old man suits and turn them into like shorts and a short blazer and with a big old belt. And people would be like, "Where do you get that?" I made it. Make it.
I have a sweater in my car that's made up of a man's sweater, a paisley shirt, and something else, but bits and pieces of it all work together. And wow, and the buttons are God knows where. And I always collect and save all those things because someday I'm going to find a use for that. But it's interesting because, and I love estate jewelry because there's a piece of somebody else. And I one time was purchasing some jewelry as estate jewelry, and the person was sitting there and she was getting paler and paler and paler, and I picked out 5 random pieces that were nowhere near each other, and she said they're all the same woman.
See, you can tell.
And she's like, but there was something about them.
There was an energy, something that drew to you that you were exactly. And we have to pay more attention to that stuff. So that's what my mission is to create happy creations that can help people balance and love it.
What I'm going to go back to again is you're creating one-of-a-kind pieces. One-of-a-kind,
and I create them here local, and it's all specific, just one person. Yeah.
We're not doing Highway 62, and we're not going to track down your mom for some reason. Where do we find your work?
Actually, most of my work, I'm in the process of creating a website, which is in the process, but I'm on Facebook, which is by Shay Rizzo. So it's by, Shay is my middle name, and Rizzo's my last name. You can find me there. You can also find me on Instagram. And I'm Rebecca Rizzo. You can also find me on YouTube, Snapchat, you name it. I'm pretty much everywhere.
Everybody's got to be connected these days.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh.
We're in 1 degree of separation here in the Valley.
It's not even that.
Yeah.
Try dating in the Valley. Forget about it. It's like there's no degrees of separation.
Yes.
But I want to remind everybody again, the Highway 62 tours kick in October 13th and 14th, October 20th and 21st. Rebecca's going to be at Stop 6. Telling you the catalog is key. She's going to be there both weekends. And just a reminder, some of the artists are only participating one or the other, but not both weekends. So please, before you head out there and check it out. And when you get to Stop 6, you better plan on hanging out for a while.
About an hour, yeah. And I want to add one more thing. I'm a proud Greater Coachella Valley Chamber member, and I wanted to let you know you can pick up those catalogs at those offices as well.
And they're off of Perez Road, too.
We have 4 locations. So, yeah, we have one in Indio on the east side and one on the west side in Cathedral City. So if you need to find it, you can look for that at gcvcc.org and know where those locations are.
And you can find them at My Gallery, Colliding Worlds, and at Trends. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more Highway 62 and get out there, people. You're going to regret it if you don't. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Bye. You guys have to come out and see us.